Module 1, Introduction to Information Security. This module is completely theoretical, but it's important for beginners as well as experts alike to be familiar with the concepts that shall be discussed here. The objectives of this module are as follows. 1. Overview of current security trends. 2. Understanding elements of information security. 3. Understanding information security threats and attack vectors. 4. Overview of concepts, types and phases of compromising systems or networks. 5. Overview of physical security and controls. 6. Vulnerability assessment and penetration testing. 7. Overview of information security laws. So let us start with Module 1, Section 1. Elements of information security. Before moving on, let us first discuss what information security actually means. Information security is the practice of preventing unauthorized access, use, disclosure, disruption, modification, inspection, recording, or destruction of information. It is a general term that can be used regardless of the form the data may take. Information security's primary focus is the balanced protection of confidentiality, integrity, and availability of data, also known as the CIA triad, while maintaining a focus on the policy implementation, all without hampering organization productivity. This is largely achieved through a multi-step risk management process that identifies assets, threat resources, vulnerabilities, potential impacts, and possible controls, followed by the assessment of the effectiveness of the risk management plan. Well, that was quite a heavy definition. If you did not understand it, please do not worry. I shall explain you in layman's terms. The term information security has two parts, information and security. Take a scenario as such. You are a network administrator at a big enterprise organization and have been assigned the task to make the network secure. How would you do that? There are many methods of doing so. Will you use hardware technologies or depend on software products? How would you go on monitoring traffic? In case of an incident, how are you preparing yourself to handle the breach? These are a few example scenarios that you might face. There are more such case studies available that can be faced in real life. Now, a question arises. What are we actually protecting? Well, that's an important question to ask. We are protecting information, but information here refers to both data as well as information, provided if proper steps and instructions are not followed to secure a system or a network, it can pose a big threat to the corporation you are working with. Plus, you need to keep in mind that your security measures should not slow down the system. To deal with such situations, some predefined best practices have been provided to secure your assets, both physical and virtual, and to minimize the damage caused due to any unwanted attacks or breaches. Keeping in mind the speed of your system does not get affected. That is what information security is all about. Let's talk a bit about CIA Triad. C stands for confidentiality. Confidentiality ensures that the information available is accessible to authorized users only. I stands for integrity. Integrity is responsible for checking whether data was tampered in the transit or not. A stands for availability. Availability ensures that data is accessible whenever requested by legitimate users. Two newer terms have been added to the CIA triad. One is access control, security technique used to regulate permissions for accessing and using a resource. The second one is non-repudiation. It guarantees that the sender of a message cannot deny having sent a message and a receiver cannot deny having received the message. The next topic that we would learn about is information security attack vectors. Cloud infrastructure threats. Cloud is an on-demand resource provider of information technology. It can have sensitive data both of client as well as organization being stored in it. Provided an unpatched cloud application program is running, an attacker can compromise the system and perform malicious activities as well. Advanced persistent threats. It's an attack that focuses on stealing vital data from the compromised systems without the victim being aware of any breach. Advanced persistent threats. It's an attack that focuses on stealing vital data from the compromised systems without the victim being aware of any breach. Insider threats. Kevin Mitnick, a world-renowned ex-hacker and now a security analyst, once said, "Companies spend millions of dollars on firewalls, encryption, and secure access devices, but it's money wasted because none of these measures address the weakest link in the security chain: the people who use, administer, and operate the accounts for the computer systems that contains protected information." Yes, insider threat is one of the most dangerous threat a company can face. The major issue with insider threat is that it cannot be detected using a software or a hardware device. That's all for this section. Hope you like this video. In the next section, we shall learn about some essential terminologies used in information security.